So, the end of our last stream, I'm not entirely sure what was happening. What I do know is this. We did not lose internet. Because I noticed that there was a severe issue on YouTube's side. And as this always seems to be, and I noticed I have some of the best internet money can buy. I don't need to explain how I got it. If you guys want to know my secret that bad, popular demand will say so, and then I will gladly tell you my secret to getting the best internet money can buy, which is probably the money, it's probably the internet that most YouTubers use for their stream quality, to be fair. There is little things you can do, which are borderline insane, but if you want the best internet money can buy, you want a good product as far as being a streamer, there are ways. Again, popular demand, if they ask for it, I will tell you the secret. No one's really asking, so it doesn't really matter. But I know for a fact that it was not my internet that cut our last video. It was YouTube. YouTube has been having this issue as of late, that when a certain time of my streams goes by, or if I'm getting a lot of viewers, I've noticed, I do feel like YouTube is trying to cuck me here. Because, and I say cuck when I'm supposed to just shade that first C with an F. Okay, I'm trying to use less profanity at certain points of certain words. You know what, I'll just say, I think YouTube's trying to fuck me here, okay? And I'm a little bit tired of it, personally. I can't go on Twitch because apparently I talk shit about the map community being trash and disgusting degenerate human beings that don't deserve a life. And on YouTube, I don't know what their issue is. I'm about done trying to figure it out. YouTube, if you don't like me, fucking terminate my ass. Although you know you can't do that because I've done nothing to get terminated over. That being said, YouTube has been stupid with the connection issues because it's not my internet. It's actual disconnects from YouTube. That, bearing that in mind, that somehow, at the same time, also disconnected the actual chat feed, as well as the game itself. So, my internet says I have a speed of 550. There's no way it's my internet, okay? It's whatever. I finished the main campaign. The end game is just this recycled version of DMZ, which looks like it could be fun. But right now, I don't feel like grinding the crap out of that. That's just not really... I play the campaign to play the campaigns. Not to have all the excess modes and crap like that. I might do Warzone with Plunder. I might not. Can we... There we go. But what I do want to note here is that I'm ready to give my full thoughts and review of Call of Duty. First thing I want to do, though, is... lower the audio. It's so fucking loud. I guess since we can't turn off the music, we'll just do the full master game audio. Right about there. I'm gonna spend the next 20 to 40 to 70 minutes, whatever I end up wanting to do, to give you guys my thoughts, my opinions, a general review of Black Ops 7. This will be a blunt review. That means I might drop a couple of F-bombs. I'm sorry. It's just how I do things. But I think I played enough of the game. I played all of the campaign, all 11 missions, and a small portion of the quote-unquote endgame mode to give you guys my full opinion. I will note here that before I do this, I do have a heavy amount of bias from after getting robbed by Activision. In fact, I'm surprised the Call of Duty community doesn't raise up more of a stink about that. But that is a conversation that I've already covered in previous videos, and I'm pretty sure it's a different conversation for a different day. Okay? We're not here to try to convince me to give Activision one more chance with Warzone. No, we're here to talk about the campaign. And this campaign was for Black Ops 7. Specifically, Call of Duty Black Ops 7. As if there was another one. I don't know. This campaign, God, how do I put this into words? And I want to try to keep this somewhat PG, but I know that due to the experience, I'm going to fail. This experience was literal steaming shit, okay? First of all, when you go into a story, any kind of a movie or The Last of Us, if you want to go with games, typically what they do is they make you want to know your characters. You want to write compelling characters that make you give a shit who they are, why you're watching or experiencing their story, and more than anything else, you want to care about them. Let's say that every character in this game got their heads blown off at the very end. You want to care, so it affects you. That's the part of a compelling story, is you want to keep going with these characters. It should not feel like the throwaways that you won't care about tomorrow. That's what made Modern Warfare 2 so amazing. That's why people love Simon Riley, Ghost, so much. Is because in one game, you got to really know what he was about and who he was for the most part. And yes, they expand upon the lore later on, of course, because people wanted more. With this game, you have this guy named David Mason. Hilariously enough, they don't really address that for the majority of the game until the very last cutscene. Oh, it's David Mason. It's not whoever we were supposed to think he was originally. I mean, I guess if you play the Black Ops games, you understand that they are somehow canon to this. Despite the amount of characters that are still alive somehow, despite the many deaths across the Black Ops series, you're supposed to know who's who, I guess. Harper should be dead. And the reason why I say that is not because Michael Rooker is a cuck, not because he's a Hollywood actor that no one should respect, not because half the actors in Hollywood are on the Diddy list. Or the Epstein list, if you want to go that route. We will probably talk about that at some point because new things have come out. But really, I'm not here to dump on the Epstein stuff. I mean, I will eventually. It's guaranteed. No, we're here addressing the fact that Harper dies in one of the previous Black Ops games. It's either 2 or 3. It's been a while since I played them, to be fair, so I don't remember which one it was, but I know it was one of the 2 because I remember you were given an option and I did not hesitate to shoot him in the face. Now, does he stay alive regardless of what you choose? Was there actually a choice? I don't know. I played it one time. I played Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 one time, and I blew his fucking candy-ass head off. Because back then I played these games like a fucking psychopath. There's that F-bomb I warned you all about. The problem that I have with this game is that it does not establish characters that I should care about, and it also feels like a cash grab on characters who are already dead. I don't know who 50/50 is. I guess she's called 50/50 because she does not have an arm or a leg. It's all robotic, bionic body parts. Outside that, what does she bring to the table besides cheesy one-liners and stealing the show during the drone fights? Or the mech fights, whatever the fuck they're called. She brings nothing to the table. She's not an interesting character. She is boring. Which is, you know, whatever. Most of the women characters in this game, including Kagan, have been boring. I think Kagan is one of the sleaziest and most just unappealing villains. When you have a villain in a story, a good story is only as good as its villain. That's just the truth of it. Batman would never have gotten anywhere if it weren't for the Joker, the Scarecrow, Clayface, so on and so forth. I mean, Harley Quinn and Catwoman have their own dedicated fan bases for a reason. It's not just the cleavage. They were appealing in the Batman series. You take Superman, Lex Luthor. Honestly, that man kind of made Superman what he is. Because Lex Luthor is an asshole. But he's also the perfect villain. You have a guy who's rich, powerful, and smart versus a guy that can literally deflect bullets with his face. Or any other part of his anatomy, I guess you want to go that route. You come over to Black Ops 7, you have Kagan. She is dull, she is boring, she brings nothing to the table. In fact, if I could be so bold, she is a disservice to the feminist movement, if that's what this was. I have no idea. It just feels forced and lazy. Then you have, let's see, so we covered 50/50, being literally the most boring human being. What? She's interesting because she has no arm or leg, and it's bionic body parts. Wow. The Winter Soldier did it better, if we're being honest, okay? Then you have the black guy. What the fuck was his name? Do we have it in our notes here? Hold on. Let me just check my notes real quick because I don't recall writing his name down because the black guy, I mean, you gotta have your representation, I suppose. But I don't see his name because he was literally the most boring character of all of them. And I guess, from what I am supposed to understand, he was in a previous game. 50-50, they just threw her in. But the black guy, whatever the fuck, was it Marshall? I don't think it was Marshall. I think more two different people or the same guy. That's not good when they all fucking actually look alike. That's not good. Activision needs to work on that. And then David Mason, I don't know why, but he is the most boring human being on the face of the planet. I spent more time thinking about how to survive and be tactical against zombie-esque style monsters than I did actually caring about the characters. The characters were shit in this game. Again, Harper. The only reason this game even has Harper is because Call of Duty has this long history of cameos. And they must have paid him a sour mint to be in this game. And what's sad is the only reason why Harper's name, let alone character, is memorable because, A, in the previous Black Ops games, I shot him in the face with no hesitation. It was like the only evil thing I could truly do, and I played those games like a frickin' psychopath. I did not hesitate. He's like, here, I'm going to give you a choice to shoot him in the face or boom! Will you at least let me finish? No, Menendez, no. I will not let you finish because I, back then, in 2022, played these games like I had something mentally wrong with me. But then again, it is Black Ops. All the characters are supposed to have something mentally wrong with them. That's why it's a mental thing, okay? The only reason why Harper's character is even remotely memorable is because of the face. That is it. It is Michael Rooker. You know, Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy, Merle Dixon from The Walking Dead. That's the only reason Harper's character is interesting is because it's an actor. Outside that, his character is equally as boring as 50-50. If we're being honest here, Michael Rooker's character, they paid him a mint. He did a shitty job. I would say Activision should get their money back, but Activision robbed me. I guess it's even now. I don't know. Then, who was the other person? Yeah, Mason, 50-50, the black guy who cannot be named because he was literally that dull of a character, and then Harper. You got that dumb-ass fucking villain, Kagan, and then about 25 other characters that I will not remember tomorrow. Call of Duty used to be a memorable game franchise with good stories within their campaign modes, mind you, because Warzone has always been, what the fuck is even happening here? And now it's, I'm sorry, the only word I can think of is slop at this point. The missions. I'm going to go down the missions. There are some elements that I like. I do like the open world environment. However, I do not like it in Call of Duty. I love open world games. I do. I've always fantasized about what open world Call of Duty would be like. That answer was given to me within DMZ back in 2022 with Modern Warfare 2. It didn't feel right. It's not like Far Cry or Watch Dogs or Fallout. It's in no way the same. You would think it feels right, but it doesn't. You know, and they're also trying to add in what appears to be skill points and perks, and do not do to Call of Duty what you did to Assassin's Creed. Not every fucking game needs to be an RPG. The open mechanics are cool, but I don't think they belong in Call of Duty as a franchise. Let us play level by level, little directional spaces. It's better that way. It's less confusing. It gets to the goddamn point. Okay? I don't give a shit if you're trying to sell Warzone. And Warzone, give me a second. Warzone, I get it, is a big thing with Call of Duty. It's kind of their selling point for long-term use. But Warzone's being overdone too much at this point, because now that I've covered the fact that I kind of like the open world setting, I will note that the levels themselves, despite that being there, are also boring. You have all this open space and nothing really going on except the enemies you're fighting. Why have all this massive open world environment if you are only going to go to this one spot, kill these few enemies, and then go to the next level? Or the next open world space, if you will. It feels retarded. That is the only word I can use, and I'm sorry if that word offends you. I do. For anyone who's watching, anyone who will see this, I'm sorry if that word offends you. But the only way to describe this environment, the levels themselves, is nothing short of mentally retarded. Okay? Because it's too much, not really enough reason to have it. Some of these levels are probably some of the most high tier garbage I've ever seen. And when I say high tier, I do not mean the top of its class. I mean the lowest form of garbage you will ever see. Kind of a weird irony of backwards logic, I guess. It is the lowest level of crap. Because you have these weird dream sequences in at least 50% of the game. Which, by the way, if you guys would know me long enough, you will eventually almost always hear that I have hated the part of Spider-Man 2018 where there's dream sequences. And in fact, every game from that era where there was dream sequence stuff, I absolutely hated it. In fact, there's an entire video somewhere in the internet of me ranting for 12.3 hours. For the people who do not know how long that is time-wise, that is 12 hours and 20 minutes of just pure rage. I know, this is excessive, but back then I was a literal psychopath. Of how much I hate that in games, and it's nothing but a disservice, and it's nothing but laziness. This level design, if you will, okay, is something I hate because it is 50% of the game. Dream sequences under the guise of it is all in your head because of the gas. Okay, fine. Let's look at that. They basically continued last year's story with Black Ops 6 and the Cradle and made it its own game. This is why everyone despised Modern Warfare 3 2023. The remake of Modern Warfare 3, instead of giving us an actual remake like they did with Modern Warfare 2 and somewhat with 1, more of a prequel remake thing going on, but whatever. Instead, they gave us a half-assed continuation of Modern Warfare 2. This is the same thing. Like, if you're going to be lazy, don't do it every year. Do it every 2 years, it would be more worth it, because then you have time to milk the game, more time to milk Warzone, milk multiplayer, and then every 2 years, you have 2 years to come up with a good story. Not, oh, we ran out of time, let's just continue the last shitty game. Because Black Ops 6 was shit. Modern Warfare 2 was kind of shit. It was nothing like the OG one. The OG one was God, a fucking masterclass of what Call of Duty is. Modern Warfare 2 2022 was a shit stain. Pretend Call of Duty itself is a nice brand new white t-shirt. Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 2023, Modern Warfare 2 2022 mind you, Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 is a literal stain of shit smeared across that t-shirt. It's an embarrassment. I do not condone it. I do not respect it. And any moron that tells me I have no right to complain because I bought it, listen, motherfucker, I didn't buy it. I got it through Game Pass because I knew it's not worth my money. And the cucks at Activision think you should pay $70 for this slop. That's disgusting. It's more disgusting that they use AI in a lot of the game, and it fucking shows. Now, all that hostility aside, there are little things that I like. Little things. There is a mild amount of challenge. There's certain little tidbits that are okay. Like, I don't know. I think the ability points are cool. If they would make it realistic to Call of Duty, though. I don't like the invisibility shit. In fact, the only one that I liked, and it shows in my actual playthrough, is War Machine. Put on a grenade launcher in your gun and just with a grenade launcher. Because that's realistic to Call of Duty. The invisibility, the rest of it, is just crap. I'm not into it. Whatever they were aiming for this, it did not fit. This is probably about the same as Infinite Warfare, feeling more like a Halo, Half-Life wannabe than actual Call of Duty. The levels themselves kind of had this problem. Now, moving past that, we talked about the characters, we talked about the levels. Now let's talk about enemy design. The human enemies are fine. I think the Titan enemies are good. They should probably throw in more Titan enemies. The robot enemies, I mean, again, I'm not really into the sci-fi shit. I like it when they keep it like actual Call of Duty. And when I mean actual Call of Duty, I mean anything before Black Ops 2. Not including Black Ops 2. Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, the entirety of the OG Call of Duties, World War 2 if you want to include that one. That's pretty close to respectful. The futuristic stuff I'm not into. I'm really not. I don't know why they keep spinning in that direction. I don't see the point. It's almost like they don't have anything realistic to go off anymore and they're afraid to offend everybody. Because that's what it feels like. I remember reading the whole, do not use language that will offend other players. We want a fair and fun environment. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 lobbies are known for the N-word, okay? Robots. It's like you don't want to put a Chinese man or a Russian in that spot because you're afraid of offending China. No one on the internet's going to say it, but I will. That's laughable. Call of Duty was meant to have one country versus another with a compelling story of how we prevent World War III, for the most part. That's generally how it goes. The robot enemies are alright, though, I guess. They do add a little extra to your spunk, I guess. I don't really know. I mean, at this point, they just feel like whatever. The human enemies are alright. It's the zombies that I have a fucking problem with. You see, first of all, the spiders are a direct ripoff of John Carpenter's The Thing. You have an upside-down head, just like in that movie, with legs coming out of it. I think John Carpenter should sue Activision. But whatever. I have this weird feeling he didn't give his consent for you to steal his fucking ideas. But whatever. This is Activision we're talking about. Oh, by the way, can we go back a minute to level design, but also stay on the topic of enemy levels? Does anyone else notice the gas is meant to instill what they call fear in the game? Because there's a bunch of enemies that are called fear, but they're zombies. That is also a ripoff of another brand. You got the John Carpenter's The Thing, which is direct copyright theft, by the way. And then you also have Scarecrow from Arkham Asylum. No, I shit you not. If you're watching this, if you've somehow made it this far into the rant/review, go look up any YouTube video about the Scarecrow boss level from from Batman Arkham Asylum. I almost thought Assassin's Creed, but no, I don't think we have that problem there yet. I haven't tested. I'll figure it out later. No, look up the boss fight from Batman Arkham Asylum. There's actually an entire fight in this game that is a 150% direct ripoff of that game. Mind you, the fear toxin is the cradle. They just call it the cradle. That's the only difference. I have seen some bullshit with plagiarism before, but the fact that this cuck of a company got away with it is nothing short of despicable. And I think that anyone who did not finish college or high school because of plagiarism should now get a free pass, because these motherfuckers ripped off millions over it, and they're getting away with it. That, or I don't know, this would be preferable. Hold them accountable, because that is literally what they did. That is bullshit. And then the zombies. Bro, zombies is supposed to be a different mode. Everyone anyone who plays Call of Duty knows that zombies is his own thing. Why are you injecting it into every fucking campaign we got now? Black Ops 6 last year, this game this year, it's just getting more intense too. I'm not playing Black Ops 7. This says Black Ops 7, but it was not Black Ops 7. It was Call of Duty Zombies the game. That's it. Because this entire game justified having zombies in it. With, oh, it's all in your head. Well, now now Call of Duty Zombies has no point to exist, does it? Because that entire game mode is just in my head. Well, fuck you, Activision. Fuck you. The enemy design in this was halfway okay, but the zombies, the Thing ripoff, the exasperated fucking boss fights with, I don't know, gigantic Harper. Again, I shot that motherfucker in the face. Every time I shot him in the mouth in this game playthrough, because that was how you beat the giant one, right? I'm just repeating the same thing I did fucking 10 years ago. The enemies suck, if you want my honest opinion. Because there are more zombies than there were actual human enemies. The robots, again, it just feels lazy, man. It just feels lazy. And at this point, I mean, they didn't really... You guys remember that one part of the game? Well, I'll do a review later where I have it edited with clips in what I'm talking about, like Angry Joe does, right? You guys will love it, I'm sure. There was a point where the enemies are shooting into a staircase. They're aiming down because I'm across the way, right? And there's... Like, the enemy AI in this game is nothing short of stupid. And bear in mind, this is supposed to be Black Ops 7. The pinnacle of what Call of Duty is nowadays. Because if there's ever representation for who you are now, it's the games you're currently putting out. This is why no one likes Obsidian anymore. Because Obsidian now is not Obsidian 2010. You know, Outer Worlds 2 versus Fallout New Vegas 1. There's a valid difference. Well, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is in no way, shape, and or form as Black Ops 2 or even Black Ops 1. God damn, it's nowhere near the same kind of game. And that's bullshit. I will note here the amount of Warzone injections into this game were disgusting. You can tell this game's not going to have a 10 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned. Sisk and Ebert are going to they're going to probably laugh from their grave. I swear to God. So we go past the enemy design, right? We've talked about characters and the boring characters that they are. We talked about the level design. We talked about the enemy design. I could discuss the writing in more graphic form, but the story itself was just dull. I've already specified the characters are dull, but now we're talking about the story. Here's point number 4. The story itself, I don't really know what the story was. We were looking for Menendez. I guess we were trying to find out who was responsible for the cradle, I guess. I don't fucking know. Like, the whole selling point is, oh, Menendez never died. But that apparently isn't true. He is, in fact, dead, I guess. I still don't really know. The dream sequence does nothing to help the game. Does that make sense? It does nothing to help what they're trying to achieve. The dream sequences just make you wonder, what if he is alive and we just dreamed it all? What if we just hallucinate everything and none of this game even happened, and at the end of the game, we just think we accomplished something? Like, there's no way to know. This entire game is basically Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on acid. Really, that's all this is. The story is so piss poor, I can't follow along with it outside of a guesstimation of what might be happening, but the amount of plot holes in the story itself are despicable. Again, if your characters are hallucinating, mad acid here, by the way, then how do they know how to get from point A to point B in their delusion that in no way represents what real life is? How do they actually fight the actual bad guys and not accidentally shoot, I don't know, civilians? How do we in any way know that what they achieved is what they achieved considering the amount of acid they were constantly on? Again, the red smoke did this story no favors because we just don't even know if anything we saw actually mattered. Again, if your entire story is based around, oh, you're delusioning everything right now, up until the very end. You see the problem I'm trying to express here? The story in no way has any value because it's all a delusion. Even Black Ops 1 didn't have this fucking problem. In Black Ops 1, yes, you had delusions, but you at some point knew when the delusion ended versus when it actually was over. You knew after a point what was real and what was not. In this game, there is no real way to blur the line. And that is the problem with the story. The story was written, and the story was written likely by AI. I pictured ChatGPT came up with this. Again, they did say they used AI for a lot of this. And I feel that that is one of the core problems here, is that what made Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1 great is it was a story that made sense. This game makes no goddamn sense. And that's the problem. I don't know what's going on half the time. All I know is shoot enemies, and when there's more enemies popping up, you know to go in that direction. That's it. The rest of it can literally eat my ass. Sorry. That's how I'm going to word it, though. Then we go on to the final phase of frustration here. The base core mechanics. It is hot as fuck in here. I'm going to go turn off my heater. Give me 30 seconds. Because I'm going to rant on this one. And you know I'm going to rant. Because I'm telling you, but I'm going to rant. Before I get into this last part, I want to address any of the bitches that don't like what I have to say. I played the fucking game. I can say whatever the fuck I want about the game. The reason why I say this is, if you play the game, you've now experienced it in full, you have the right to say what you think. If you do not like that, go down to the comment section down below. Get on your knees and kiss my ass, because this is what I believe. This game was not good. So, now we cover the final basis, the mechanics. Why did I save this for last? Because it's the most... You can't F this up unless you're really negligent and incompetent at your job. So, I'm going to try my best to be on point on how to explain this stuff. We'll go down a bracket here. So, number one, you cannot pause the game. It's a single-player game. The fact that you cannot pause it is laughable. That means the retards that work at Activision were so incompetent at their job, they could not include an actual pause menu. That's not a good sign as a developer of a video game, especially a AAA game such as Call of Duty. If you cannot add in a pause option to actually pause the game, you're pretty much shit at your job. Bear in mind, last year, and I don't know what happened between last year and now, but last year you could pause it. You want to explain to me what's going on? Because I have no idea. Moving on to the next laughable thing. There's no checkpoints. There really aren't. And I find that to be quite obscene. I mean, there's moments where they seem to have checkpoints, but not really. Does that make sense? Because I have tested this. If you were to go into the middle of a level and you quit the game, you will start over at the beginning of the level, not where you think those so-called checkpoints might be. Like, you play the game, let's say you die. You'll go back about 3 seconds or whatever it is, a minute. Depends on where these quote-unquote checkpoints are. But if you play older Call of Duties, like as early as last year, in fact, there's actual points that even if you were to quit the level and come back later, you would actually be able to continue from that point. I mean, it's not such a big deal, but it's kind of weird that you have no pause menu and you don't have working checkpoints that work as intended. Now, this final one is the one that kind of enrages me because it shows you what they're kind of going towards as an industry. Now, Xbox better not pull this shit. In fact, no game should ever pull this shit because it's going to set me off. I'm going to try to keep my cool here. This game is entirely online as a single-player game. Now, that would not be so bad, but remember earlier when I said it does not have a pause option? Well, not only does it not pause, but when you push up the start screen, which is what pause used to have, because when you pull up pause in the past, last year and before that, at any point, it would basically pull up a start menu. In older games, it would pause the game by doing that. In this one, it does not actually pause the game at all. The enemies will keep coming at you, and if you have to take a bathroom break, good luck. Like, the only way you can really use the bathroom if you're playing this is to hope that you're in a quiet area, or you have to just shut the game off. Like, it's really stupid. There's no pause menu option, right? But when you pull up the start menu, it's got ads. I fucking shit you not. There are ads. Now, I guess the only redeeming quality is it's ads for the call signs. You know, little banners, you could buy them with your COD points and put them over your name. Also, does anyone find it weird that COD points are labeled CP? Activision, I think you need to find another acronym. because CP should not be in Call of Duty either. If you don't know what that is, it's basically child abuse material. And I'm surprised they call it CP. COD points, I mean, I guess, but remember that CP did come first. So, it's been a thing with the government for years that, you don't want that title. Yet, everyone's like, let's buy more CP. No, God, fuck no. Like, change your acronym. I can't believe we're waiting this long to say it as a community, but I was waiting for the rest of the Call of Duty community to actually do their fucking job. I guess I'll have to do it. Change the fucking acronym. Secondly, they're giving you ads for call signs. Here, buy all these things. Because, you know, when you pause, you don't actually pause, but buy this shit. Like, okay. There are some skins that I think are genuinely cool. And sure, I might buy them once in a while. I don't know why I bother, considering they robbed me of the one I want. But what is to stop them now? Now that they've done this and no one's really doing much with it to stop it. What's to stop them from, you know, you pull up the game, you pause the game, it doesn't pause, and you have a BK make it your way commercial. Yeah, now every time you pause the game, you gotta hear about a fucking Whopper. I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry. And that's their excuse nowadays for making these games online only. Hitman did that. I don't know if you guys ever played the game Hitman World Assassination. Beautiful game. Beautiful game. Except that shit was only online. It was entire. There was no multiplayer component in any capacity, and that game was only online. It made no fucking sense, and it pissed people off to the highest order humanly possible. This game's doing it, and they're throwing ads in your face. Oh, how I want to go into the game and pull up these shitty levels to show you the ads yet again. But if you watch the playthrough, you'll see it. It's bullshit, because they're advertising you shit for Warzone. Can we, like, keep the ads out of our fucking menus? And can we not make single-player online only? It is absolutely retarded that I'm pulling up this game to play something that is single-player. I'm not playing Warzone here. I'm not playing multiplayer. I'm not doing anything that involves actual co-op. It is a single-player experience. You can't pause the game. It's online only, and you're shoving ads down my face. Fuck you, Activision. That's bullshit. So, yeah, that's my big issue with that. What would my score be for this game? Most people, like Angry Joe showed, probably give this game a 3 or a 4 out of fucking 10. I'm sorry. I'm not into the cuck-a-thon, okay? I feel like this game should have done better. I want to see more effort from my gaming developers. If they expect you to pay $70 for this shit. This is steaming cow dung. You could go onto a field, any field where there are cows, pick up a fucking pile of cow poop, okay? And it is somehow worth more money than this. And they want to charge you $70 for this garbage. Like, eat my entire ass. No, I'm not okay with it. I'm sorry if my language pisses or bothers me or pisses them off. This is who I am. When I play games, I have a sense of passion to it. I get very emotional and very vocal about my opinions because I got the fucking tism. It is what it is. This is not worth $70. If you paid for $70 for this, I would get your fucking money back. This is disgusting. This is obscene. This is not the quality that we pay $70 for. And remember that Xbox, like the morons that they are, because Phil Spencer is nothing short of the dumbest man on planet Earth. And here I thought Donald Trump and Elon Musk were stupid. No, Phil Spencer might be dumber. And here's why. Phil Spencer wants people to pay $80. This game was gonna be $80. But Outer Worlds 2 kind of shut that down because we the people fucking spoke, right? I will be damned if they charge us $80 for this barely worth $20 shit show. This game, if I were to give it a price tag, maybe $20. It is a $20 DLC of Black Ops 6. At best, it does not deserve any kind of a higher praise because it is the laziest slop I've ever seen. And mind you, I did play Modern Warfare 3 2023. That was also pretty piss poor. This is nothing short of that. This is somehow worse than anything I've ever played in my life because this is supposed to be Call of Duty. I think that Call of Duty is having an identity crisis. They're trying to be everything. They're trying to be Fortnite. They're trying to be Assassin's Creed Valhalla. They're trying to be anything but Call of Duty. Don't fucking call it Call of Duty then. This game is a 2 out of 10 at best. And even that is fucking stupid. The open world mechanics is a nice addition, but it doesn't work. The fact that they have a first and third person option is cool. But, like, what's the point? It doesn't help that much. There's so much missing from the core mechanics of the game, and I mean, the fact that you can't pause it is just, wow, that goes down 10 points. I'm sorry. I'm doing 2 out of 10 because it is a game. There were not any real bugs, and that's really it. That's the only reason why they get 2. If you played this game, having bought it for $70, get your money back. Or, I don't know, sue. Raise hell. Stop killing games. Where are you now? This was unacceptable. I am glad it's over, personally. I will try Warzone in the near future and see what kind of shit show they have going on. It has been 3 years. I might as well step in now. But I have zero respect for Activision. Activision can kiss my ass. After the Ghostface thing, I took this shit very personally, and I come back, to see what's going on in the new day and age, and I'm like, wow. This is, approximately 12 hours I will never get back? I think I would rather have gone to the abortion clinic than have played this game. I think I would rather play The Last of Us Part 2 with only the Abby parts than play this game. I would rather go watch Barney the Purple Dinosaur give Grover from Sesame Street a fucking circle jerk than play this game. I would rather get cucked by Xbox again than play this game. If this is Xbox's brand of what they expect 30% price margins, no. Seriously. Where's the quality that you want 30% profit margins from? That's another thing too. Xbox is so pathetic. Remember that Xbox did an acquisition to get Black Ops 7, right? Or Call of Duty in general. Because it started with Black Ops 6, right? Xbox did a full acquisition to buy Activision. Their job now is to put out a quality product that made that acquisition worth it, to make money. They want to make a 30% profit margin. We are currently at a 19 to 22% profit margin. I wonder how we even got that high, given the product quality. And this is the crap that they're throwing at us for $70. I'm sorry. Phil Spencer needs to go. If this is what he's coming up with, and this is what they're approving at Xbox, because, I don't know, is it on PlayStation? Do I dare ask? I don't know. I think that Phil Spencer needs to have his ass kicked right out of that company. It's a shame, because Xbox used to be such a beautiful brand, and yes, I take this shit very personally. Games are my cope. That is the way that I get through this disgusting thing we call a miserable life. And if you're not miserable, God, you motherfuckers, it must be nice being richer than shit and having people in your life. Okay, too personal? Let's keep going. 2 out of 10 stars. Fuck this game. Don't play it. I played it so you don't have to. And you can watch it and say, gee, I guess I'll play it. If you're gonna play it, let me give you some free fucking advice. Go to any store, Walmart, Target, whatever. Buy Game Pass for $20. Okay, you can do that. Go to the little card section. These little spinning things where the cards are on, right? Look for the Game Pass ones. You can buy it for $20. You do not have to pay $30. Do not let that fucking company tell you have to pay $30 when you don't. That's how I'm playing this, by the way. Because I went to a store, I bought it for $20, and here we fucking are. If you're gonna play Black Ops 7, do not pay shit to them. Let them suffer like last year. Eventually, those fucking cuckfucks will learn. And then, you will not have spent a ridiculous summary of $50 extra on this shit game. And if anything, you can experience all the other amazing things that Xbox Game Pass might have at $10 less. Because if anyone's gonna help you cheat over Xbox, as in fuck that company, it's me. You know why? Because I loved Xbox. It broke my heart, ripped it out, stepped on it, and took a fat, steaming diarrhea shit on my fucking soul. So it's fucking personal. Go to stores, get $20 cards, don't pay 30. You don't have to. Motherfuckers, I don't pay 30, neither do you. That's the secret, okay? And anyone can do it because they still have them all over the goddamn country at every fucking store. Do not pay 30. Do not let them rip you off. And this game, do not play it for 70. Just get it through Game Pass. If they remove from Game Pass, that means they know it wasn't even worth it for free. The rant has now concluded. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm going to call it. I'll be back live in, I don't know, a few hours maybe, because I woke up at 5 p.m. yesterday Eastern Time. I'll be up for a while. I don't know what we're playing next. Maybe I'll go back to my little hug box in The Sims. I'm not sure yet. But I will figure out what we're going to play next. I will figure it out sometime today. As in within the next few hours, I'm sure. We will do it, and I guarantee you it'll be a better game than this shit. Again, don't pay 70. Just play on Game Pass for 20. You guys have my directions how to do that. And remember, if Xbox can put out shit products, there's always another way to play it for free. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, guys. Pass for 20. You guys have my directions how to do that. And remember, if Xbox can put out shit products, there's always another way to play it for free. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, guys. Pass for 20. You guys have my directions how to do